Welcome. Today we'll discuss Ernest Sosa's classical analysis. It is a philosophical paper published in 1983 in the Journal of Philosophy, and it was one of the most important late 20th century discussions of the nature and possibility of philosophical analysis. It is particularly famous for offering sophisticated response to the paradox of analysis, and you can think of this paper as addressing the following question: how can philosophical definitions be informative if they are supposed to express necessary equivalence? Okay, let's start with the first subtopic. It is about classical analysis itself. What is this philosophical paper? Sosa begins by defending a traditional conception of philosophical analysis. According to the classical tradition, philosophers try to discover the real structure of concepts and facts rather than merely describe how words are used. And this tradition goes back to ancient philosophy and includes attempts to provide real definitions of concepts such as knowledge, justice, causation, mind, and freedom. For example, we can take one definition. Knowledge is a justified true belief. It is a traditional analysis of knowledge, and in each case, the analyst seeks necessary conditions, sufficient conditions, and an illuminating explanation of the concept, and this is what Sosa calls classical analysis. And our next topic, which we would like to discuss, is about the central problem, the paradox of analysis. The paper is primarily concerned with the famous paradox associated with the philosophers such as George Edward Moore, and second philosopher, it is Charles Langford. And the paradox can be stated as follows. The Langford-Moore paradox can be stated in the following way. Suppose an analysis is correct, a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, or the concept bachelor is equivalent to the concept unmarried adult male, then either the analysis means exactly the same thing as the concept analyzed, or the analysis does not mean exactly the same thing. If the first disjunct is true, a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, is trivial and uninformative. If the second disjunct is true, the analysis is informative but false, because the two expressions have different meanings. Thus, if an analysis is correct, it seems uninformative. If it is informative, it seems incorrect. This is the paradox of analysis. Of course, it is a very brief explanation of this paradox, but from this analysis we can move to the more serious problem, and considering this, we can formulate our question in the following way: why is this a serious problem? If the paradox succeeds, philosophical analysis appears impossible. For example, knowledge is justified through belief, and if this is genuinely a discovery, then it must tell us something new. But if it tells us something new, it appears that knowledge and justified true belief cannot have identical meanings. On the other hand, if they have identical meanings, the statement seems no more informative than a bachelor is a bachelor. The paradox therefore threatens the entire project of conceptual analysis. And how Sosa approached to this problem? How did Sosa approach to this problem? Sosa's main idea was aspectuality. And what does it mean, this concept? Sosa's most important contribution is the introduction of the notion of an aspect. His idea is that one and the same proposition can be grasped under different cognitive perspectives. For example, a person may know that bachelors are unmarried adult males without realizing that bachelors are bachelors. The reason is not that the propositions differ in truth values. The reason is that the same content can be apprehended under different aspects. Sosa therefore argues that belief and understanding are more complicated than philosophers had assumed. Traditionally, belief is treated as a binary relation between a person and a proposition. Sosa proposes something richer. Belief is a ternary relation among a person, a proposition, and an aspect under which the proposition is apprehended. In other words, a person believes a proposition under a particular mode of presentation or aspect. Let's take one example. Suppose someone knows that the morning star is bright, but does not know that the evening star is bright, even though both names refer to the planet Venus. The same object is presented under different aspects. Similarly, someone may possess the concept bachelor without recognizing the equivalence. Bachelor is identical with the unmarried adult male. The analysis becomes informative because it connects two aspects of the same content. And this is Sosa's solution to the paradox. But we can also analyze or discuss the metaphysical extension because towards the end of the paper, Sosa goes beyond the paradox itself. He suggests that successful analysis may reveal structures of dependence among properties. And our main concept here is structures of dependence. What does it mean? The phrase structures of dependence refers to a relationship in which one concept, property, or fact depends on another for its existence, identity, or explanation. In Sosa's paper, this idea is central to showing that philosophical analysis is not merely about words. It can reveal objective relationships among concepts and properties. For example, consider the concept square. A square depends conceptually on the concepts rectangle and equal sidedness. You cannot understand what a square is without those basic concepts. In this sense, the concept square has a structure of dependence. A square depends conceptually on being a rectangle and having equal sides. Similarly, bachelor depends on adult, male, and unmarried. The concept bachelor is analyzable in terms of these more fundamental concepts. Sosa's point is that a successful philosophical analysis uncovers these objective dependence relations. When we say a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, we are not merely replacing one expression with a synonymous one. We are showing that the concept bachelor is structured by the more basic concepts, adult, male, and unmarried. This idea also has a metaphysical dimension. Sosa suggests that some properties themselves, not just our concepts, stand in dependence relations. For example, being a square depends on being a rectangle with equal sides. Thus, philosophical analysis can reveal not only how our concepts are organized, but also how the properties those concepts represent are related. In other words, analysis is not merely linguistic, it can reveal objective structural relations in reality. And this point is important because Sosa wants to preserve the traditional philosophical ambition of discovering the world's underlying structure. Okay, that's all for today's discussion. If you have got any questions, you can address them. I'll be very happy to answer them. Thank you for watching.